Well, we've got the inside tip today with Performing Arts Insider and David Lefkowitz. Yay!
Hi.
And you know, I'm always talking about this, calling it the cultural heartbeat of New York City. Now I'm calling it the cultural heartbeat of Zoom. We've all had to adjust. And I got to let the world out there know, if you're mad at me for being a critic, it's all this guy's fault, David Lefkowitz, because he's the one that got me started. In fact, can I tell the story? It's such a great story. It's one of my favorite stories. My friend Shell Gutman went on a date with him, and she was telling me about him. And I said, oh, he sounds perfect for me. I want to go out with him. I want to go out with him. So we went and saw 5 bridesmaids wearing the same dress with Amelia Campbell and Tom Gibson. And we sat next to Julie Wilson, who I got into a conversation with about how we always lose our keys. And at that point, you were doing This Month on Stage. And you needed reviewers. And I did not only theater, but I did cabaret and dance for you as well. And then this week on stage, and he's responsible for me writing short reviews because I could only do 2 paragraphs. I can't write long reviews anymore. I completely can't do it. I can only write short reviews now. And it's all because of David.
And I have to thank Eva as well, because that night I hooked up with Julie Wilson. So it was a fabulous evening.
I bet she cost you a lot in flowers.
A tremendous amount, but thank you, Eva. And you don't regret it, right? I mean, this past year, we've all regretted being theater critics, but you don't regret the last 25, 30 years.
Oh, good grief, no. As I used to say now, I'd rather see a play than be in one, because I used to be an actress. I used to be a comic. I used to be a playwright, but now I much prefer seeing plays. I'm obsessed with seeing plays.
Yay, yay. Well, me too. For all these years. So thank you for having me on High Drama. It's been many years since I've been here. Welcome to Mark Sabat and Bina Sharif and, oh gosh, our director.
Ewing, our newest.
Oh. Jan, hi.
Yeah, Jan's well, he's been here a while, but he's sort of our most recent one.
Hi there, nice to see you.
And we love him because he's responsible for all the editing and making our show look so damn good now. So, talk about Performing Arts Insider.
Eva cannot be more happy than these times in her life about this show, because it does look good.
Yes. So,
you hear me?
Yes.
We do. Yeah. So, Performing Arts Insider, which has been, I did not found the magazine. It was founded back in 1944 by people who wanted to let the business know of the business of Broadway, and at that point, what was the very nascent beginning of off and off Broadway. So it was a real insider entertainment guide to every single show on off and off Broadway, how to contact the press agents, the managers, who were the cast, the directors, the designers, and so on for decades. And then Richmond Shepard, our mutual friend, was running it for several years. I know, we lost him about 2 years ago. And then he brought me on because at that, he was already in his 70s. And he said, Dave, I want to do more mime. I want to go teaching. I want to write more plays. I want to act. Can you take this thing over? So I did. And I mean, he was a co-publisher for several years. So I took it on, changed it, expanded it, but it's still the Bible of Broadway. And what's really nice about having it now is not only is it listing everything that is on the loading dock for when Broadway and off-Broadway reopen, but there's a big section in there called Virtual Theater, which are links to all the shows you can watch on YouTube for free, and also a lot of them that are limited runs, you might have to pay for it, like Irish Rep or the Mint Theater and so forth. So it's Performing Arts Insider. Find out more about it at performingartsinsider.com. Thank you, Eva.
You're like Dred Scott Robert Pirate. From Princess Bride, who keeps taking over the pirate ship.
Right. Okay, I'm good.
And I just remembered something. When I first started High Drama and I didn't know how to go about it, you said either get Performing Arts Insider and Theatrical Index. And I got them both, and I just fell in love with Performing Arts Insider. Just Theatrical Index is really hard to figure out, and it just to me was useless. Performing Arts Insider, though, I could not have done my show without Performing Arts Insider. So.
Thank you. And I'm very, very proud of what we've done with the magazine, that we're keeping it going. It's been very difficult, even before because a hard copy magazine, people don't even subscribe to those things anymore. But it's been worth keeping up for subscribers like you who care about it and use it and feel it so practical and easy and useful. But thank you.
David, I'm just producing two new books, Ewing Reviewing 2020, a full color version and a black and white version with 45 reviews and various things from last year. And do you take ads and that sort of thing in your magazine?
Do I take ads? Oh my goodness. Do I pull my pants down and bend me over? Yes, I take ads. Absolutely.
Well, I'll be in touch about that. I'm going to talk about these later in the show, but I'll be in touch about that. So
you bet. Thank you so much. Yes.
Dave, I love the Insider, but the thing is this, I cannot really afford to buy every month. Is there any way I can have it cheaper, discount?
Thank you for all of you. Thank you so much for asking these questions. The one cheaper way to get it is if you don't want the hard copy, we can email you a PDF, and that saves a bit of money. So you don't get the physical magazine, but you can read it, as a file on your computer. It's still quite expensive. It's not like People Magazine. It's a journal, and it's the only way I can keep it going is to charge what I would figure is a lot of money. But
yeah, I understand that. But how much would it be on the email if you send it to me on the email?
And this is for 12 issues a year. It's $250, as opposed to $300, which is the regular annual cost. I know everybody's like, but it is.
Well, that's $2 for a magazine is cheap because people.
Oh no, Eva, it's $250 a year, not $250 per magazine.
Well, my math. That's why I'm a theater critic and not a mathematician.
Yeah. So it's about $10, somewhere in that range, or something like that. $20. I can't even. I'm not that great at math either. That's why I'm in theater.
But still, it's to me, it's worth it because, like I said, you know what's going on, even if you're not in a theater critic or not in the theater. It's like. It's so comprehensive, and it's not just theater. It's got opera and regional theater, and it's got every single thing in there. It's got specials and galas, and oh my.
Thank you. One of the things is that it isn't just theater critics who use it. It's people who book for morning shows or late night talk shows, people who own theaters across the country, touring theaters, educators. So yeah, it's a wider audience than you would first see. What shows are opening and who are the press agents? It goes beyond that.
Exactly. And you have little reviews too. So you get, and the thing is this is what I find genius is each thing you put like a 1-sentence or 2-sentence plot down so people can read it and immediately know, oh, this is something I would like, or oh, I have to stay away from this. So it gives you a heads up. And so instead of a grading thing, you get,
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we've lost Bina. Yipes. So, but Bina's busy subscribing to Performing Arts Insider right now. She's writing her check out. She's getting the credit card out. PerformingArtsInsider.com, by the way, is the email. Mark, have you ever seen it? Do you like the magazine?
Oh, yeah, I think it's indispensable for people like Eva. And it is brilliantly organized and it's very clear. It's just a little too expensive for personal use.
I'm sorry. I could lower it a little, but it won't make a difference to anybody. Yeah.
Be out of business. And again, as you said, it's used still in the business for this booking and stuff. And, it should be expensive for those people.
Right. Exactly. There are people who, $300? For sure. It's a write-off. It's a deduction too, because it's part of their business expense. And it, and so I'm proud of it all the way around and happy to keep it going.
And I needed also to run High Drama because, like I said, I give it to Mark. I give it to everyone. I say, write your name next to the plays that you want to see. I know immediately who to contact. It's a great organizational tool for me as well.
Well, and Bina, you know what? Contact me after the show. Maybe
once in a while you guys freeze and I can't hear some sentences. Are you having the same problem like me?
No.
You're kind of freezing sometimes when you talk, but everybody else is okay.
I don't know what's going on because you guys freeze and I lose the words.
You're fine, right? You're fine right now.
And it's just me talking.
Okay.
You're not missing anything.
David, I was wondering
I lose everybody.
Sorry. Yeah, Jan.
I was turning
my internet connection is not good, perhaps. because
Maybe
I had
try a
difficulty
different
getting
part of
on.
the house. Try
Okay.
a different part of the house.
David,
No, I don't know
about the
what part of the
circulation
house.
of your
This
magazine.
is where I do it usually.
The circulation, it barely has a pulse at this point because we really need more subscribers.
I want to ask that question again because we were talking about everything in the world but you right then. Bina and Eva were talking. Okay, so I want to say, what about the circulation of your magazine?
Well, I don't discuss those numbers. I wish they were much higher. They were
around the country.
Around. Oh, of course they go around the country. It's not just New York. We have subscribers in England and in Canada because people. I'm not going to say exactly where, but there's a pretty well-known critic in a London paper who is a subscriber and so forth. So, yeah,
just wanted an idea of the scope. That's all. That's great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Actually, wouldn't you get even more customers now because you have these virtual events, so anyone from all over the world can see these things? It's not just limited to New York, so you could use that as a to get more people.
Well, that is why it's that section, which I thought was only going to last a month or two, because when the pandemic first hit, it was about, we're going to do our April issue. And it's like, well, I'm not going to make this relevant because nothing's open. Let me just put down some shows that people can watch for free or what's coming up. And then now that section in the next issue, in the March issue, is like 5 pages long, just of, go watch this. This is running now through March 28th. Make sure you see it, or this is perpetually on YouTube. Did you know? And I always find new ones, like when Christopher Plummer died a couple of weeks ago. I was doing a little obit for him for my podcast, Dave's Gone By, and looking up and stuff, saying, oh, he did a Hamlet? Well, let me see. And suddenly Hamlet and Elsinore is on YouTube. And there's Christopher Plummer playing Hamlet. You can watch it anytime. I didn't know.
I think John Cullum is in that one too, from Shenandoah fame.
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw, I can watch it sometime, and so can anyone who finds the link and reads Performing Arts Insider.
How do you find, because me and Ed couldn't make it this time, Ed Rubin, but we're constantly in a day, we get so many, but how do you find them all? Because it's so much out there, it's kind of overwhelming.
Well, my one issue and the one thing about this being a hard copy publication, I will admit, is that the deadlines are fairly far in advance. So I would say a third, and I will admit this readily, of the press releases or the events or the news stories that I find about virtual shows are, this is running February 15th through February 29th or 28th. And it's like, but I'm doing the March issue. So I can glance at it, and if I want to see it, I'll keep it. But otherwise, it's useless to me because it'll be too late for the issue that subscribers will be getting. So it does cut down on the workload significantly. Obviously, I wish I were in a position with more money coming in and more people to make the thing bi-weekly so that many more things could go in a timelier fashion. That is the trade-off of having an old-fashioned once-a-month hard copy magazine.
But even bi-weekly, we can't get it all in because I guess the new ruling, they haven't really figured out the better ruling, is you're only allowed 4 days to have something up. And that's just not enough time.
Right.
To catch
so I want that too. But if it's 4 days in April, like April 5th through April 10th, which is, that's 5 days, I'll put it in the March issue and the April issue. So it will get in there in time and people can see that.
It's very interesting what Eva was saying about her background with you. The two of you have very, very, very similar ways that you look at this material and the things you're interested in. I'm just mentioning that in passing. Having worked with Eva now for a while, I can see where you influenced her. I really can.
Well, we both have an energy. We both really love and believe in the theater, even after 3 decades, right? Yeah. Because I'm not bored, even though I really don't miss the theater that much this whole year, probably because I was living in Colorado for a bunch of years and went to the theater much, much less. I'm not going through withdrawals. I'm not jonesing. Even before I started watching a lot of virtual, I'm like, life goes on, which is not what theater people want to hear. Theater people want to be like, we need our playhouses back. We need to get $85 billion. And yes, it's true. But at the same time, I'm like, I eat dinner, I read books, I do my own work. I've finished writing 2 one-act plays during the pandemic, so nobody's going to do them, but I've written them.
and virtually a new medium is being developed because it isn't going to go away. A lot of this, it's easy to get your play out there. I'm a playwright. I have a new play that we're going to be recording soon, and I've done one of them already. And getting them up on Zoom is terrific. You don't have to rent something from a real estate interest in New York City, and you can get it on, and people see it. You know, not just
who
here.
can pay $3,000 a week to rent a 40-seat theater to do a show that, you know, where you need every penny for everything else but rent? It's impossible. But if you can sort of get a few friends together, get a Zoom link up, you know, for $50, you know, you can have virtual chips and dip and feed everybody. It's done.
I expected to play at the Gene Frankel Theater once, and our entire budget went to parking.
Yeah.
The entire budget, even the rent money went to parking. We had to find more money.
I mean, it's sad. It's horrible that New York is like that. It's undoable. It's unpursuable.
It's not fun. And I've said this to a lot of people. We all come here because we love the theater so much and love doing it. And doing it in New York is not fun. It's so grim sometimes. I mean, it's really, really serious.
And I've also wondered what has happened in California when they changed the rules on the 99-seaters and the under 99, you know, with the equity. I don't know if that has ruined small-time theater out there or if it's not really made that big a difference. I don't know how connected you guys all are to what's going on the coast.
Yeah, I've heard about it because I got friends on the coast and they were all very upset about it all. And I never quite understood it because it seemed to me like, well, you're going to be making more money. Is that a good thing? But I guess it wasn't because it was destroying. I don't know. It made no sense to me. So it just went above my head.
You know, you make more money if you get into a show, but they're doing 100 fewer shows that you could even be part of because producers won't produce. I mean, it's always that back and forth. Yeah.
Well, that's one good thing about all the Zoom business is people could never afford to go to the theater. Now, sometimes it only costs $5 to go to the theater. And it's just so nice. And also I'm not under obligation to review every single thing I see. So I can just enjoy seeing things.
That is true. And I don't know, though, if it's bringing a whole new audience to the theater. I still wonder if it's all the theater geeks who are going to the theater anyway, and maybe they're going for free or the tickets booth or TDF and now they've just gravitated to this because this is all there is, or if there's suddenly thousands of people discovering the magic of theater through Zoom. I don't know if that's happening.
A lot of new artists are going on this medium and finding out ways to do new things in their own art. Yeah. Ooh. Right.
Cool.
And also you can get the whole world. It's not just the New York audience or tourists, but you have people from all over the world as long as they figure out the timing. I went to a wonderful murder mystery where you get to, you know, go into breakout rooms and talk to people and try to figure out the murder. And it took place in England and I figured out the timing of it. And so I'm there from America enjoying this thing with English people. And it was just so much fun.
Well, let me also, you know, Bina, I don't know if you're hearing us or but you're a playwright. Have you done Zoom work in the past 11 months?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, Bina, I was asking if you've done.
Okay. I am amazed that you guys are raving so much about, and good for you because you love it, about virtual thing. I can't seem to concentrate on it at all. Very difficult for me. First of all, I'm not technologically advanced, number one. I can't even get into Irish rap. They say register, put your email, this. After a while, I give up. But even when I get on, I'm a total theater person and I do theater. You know, I'm a playwright and I've done 34 plays. So my life is in the theater in every aspect. And somehow or the other, no matter how I want to concentrate on this Zoom thing, Zoom, forget it, but virtual, even from the National Theater, there's something for me is totally missing. That I never have connection with those actors. And I think of when I'm sitting in the audience, I really feel connected. You know, I will give you just one example. I've seen thousands of shows. What was this actor's name? He played in Death of a Salesman, and then he died. He died of heroin. Yeah. Hoffman, my most favorite actor, you know, and I've seen Death of a Salesman many times. And I'm sitting, this is like the second row, I think I got a good seat. And he walks in with the suitcase in his hand, the very first scene. I cannot tell you the feeling I whole play with that, you know. I see the National Theater, I see all these, you know, Zoom things and all that. I never get connected. I don't know, something with my mind perhaps is not. I would love the theater to come back. I don't think it's a replacement. It's a good little movie kind of a thing, like, you know, like a little performance art perhaps, or something. It's not theater for me. It really is not.
See, I feel the opposite, because I feel like they're looking directly at me when they're, you know, they're talking directly to me because they're looking at the camera. But I've just been told we need to move on now. So I want to find, oh, should we do Bina's poem now, or should we do the people we miss?
I wanted to thank David for being with us. David, I really enjoyed it.
He's going to stay on. David, stay on.
Okay, well,
I can listen to a poem.
No, David, we're going to talk about the theater people that we lost, and you can definitely contribute to that, because
yeah, I love dead people. I can totally, yes, absolutely.
Yes, you see dead people too.
Bina is coming over very well right now. Bina, I can hear you fine and see you fine.
Okay, good, good.
So if she's going to do her poem,
yeah, something was wrong in the beginning. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to have a little treat from our very own playwright in residence, Bina Sharif, and you're going to give us one of your delightful poems. Yay!
Okay, you see, the thing is that this is a prose poem. I call it prose poem. It's a very long one, but I would like to do it in sections, like 3 minutes, you told me, every time till it is finished. And it is called The Diary of a Thought, and AKA Rambling Advisors. So, love of a thought, love of a constant flow of thought, disturbing, pleasing, happy, unhappy, fulfilling, empty, vacant, evaporating. Oh, what a thought. Disturbances of all kinds, named poems. Disturbances of constant angst, named prose poems. Disturbances of not knowing, never knowing, searching, constantly searching. We're searching for what? Every day the same? The sameness of everyday's thoughts, named a monologue, a dialogue of nothing, a dialogue of nothingness, between nothingness, an ego of importance versus an ego of no importance. Oh, what's better? Ego or no ego? Or a little tiny bit ego versus a big ego? A balance between little bit of an ego versus no ego at all. Pessimism or optimism? Who says pessimism is not good in a poem? Who says optimism is better to get your poem published? Better than what? Whose definition holds truth? Is there a truth? What is truth? Whose truth? Yours or mine? Or universal truth? Who defined universal truth? Who benefits from that universal truth, especially in a poem? To tell the truth or not to tell the truth? That is a question. Okay, the truth as you see it. Get ridiculed. Okay, do not tell the truth as you see it. Be so ashamed. Tell the truth as you don't see it. Be starved. Be unpopular if you tell it as you see it. Oh, get isolated. I don't like to be isolated. I love people. I love other poets. I love other artists. I want to be with them. No, I do not want to get isolated. No part of a so-called community. That is not for me. I love people. That's why I write poems. I write for them. and I need to tell the truth as I see it. Then I'm alone. Oh, do not complain, baby. Be satisfied in your isolation. Be content in your loneliness. Do not tell the truth the way you must see it in a nightmare. Okay, it will be continued. Is it 3 minutes?
Yes, indeed, you were. 3 minutes is fine. You're almost.
Bina, it's
Okay.
you don't believe
Almost 3 minutes
of,
because I was afraid I'll go on. It's a very long poem. I'll continue with the rest from the next time.
We'll do next time.
So that was
It's a 13-page long poem. You know, let me tell you about writing the prose poem. I am very fond.
I'm sorry, you'll have to tell that next time. We're completely out of time.
Okay, I'm influenced by Baudelaire. He used to write prose poems, and his book is called The Paris Spleen. It's all full of prose poems, and I just love that.
Now, have we done a 30-minute show, or do we have time still to talk about memorial people?
We're talking about your memorial people. We're coming up, yes, and indeed. Well, we've got Jay. I want to take in 2 minutes about my new books. So yes, we're pretty well done. You can talk about a couple of memorial people, and then I'll cut it.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Bina, but we really got to get on.
Okay.
So
that's the next time, though.
Yes. So, you know, I keep trying to remember all the people we lost this year. You see, I've got Chicago here for Anne Reinking and $1 Billion Quartets because of Howell Binkley, who was a lighting designer, and Love Music and Rock and Roll were just a couple of the shows that were produced by Roger Berlin. We got Bob Avian, Christopher Plummer, you mentioned before, Cicely Tyson. I mean, we lost a lot of people this year.
Lee Brewer, don't forget Lee Brewer.
And Rebecca Luker. I mean, it's just tragic. So if you want, do anyone of you have any stories you'd like to mention or anything?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned. Oh, please, Bina, yeah.
No. Lee Brewer, you know, he's one of the masters of theater, you know, like in every which way. He was so jolly and full of fun. I worked with him 3 times, and he took me to Brazil in one of the shows of one of his wives, and we did Epidog at the Hare Theater. It was the best experience of my life because I learned so much from him, though our styles are very, very different. I'm very wordy playwright, and he's a very visual kind of a playwright with puppets, you know. And but this man had a lot of patience. A lot of people thought he was, you know, like yelling at everybody and screaming at everybody, but no, he was just like a very melodiously, slowly, positively aggressive, you know, but in a very good way. And I played a cow. I was never seen, you know, with big mask of a cow with Ruth Malachek and Fred Newman and all the cast and his daughter and his son. And then we went to Brazil for 1 month, and I did one of his Putana Moshka, which was a very Indian kind of a story, very dressed up with the Indian costumes and all that. And this man, people sometimes say he was harsh to them. He paid me. He was wonderful to me. In 1985, he invited me in the very beginning of my theater career to do a workshop of one of my very first play. And I developed my play in his theater workshop. And I adored him and the whole Mabu Minds. And then they commissioned me to do a one-woman show, which Eva also saw, called Sleeping with Horses. And I just had greatest memories of that show. It went very well. And they encouraged me a lot. And it's just like a great memory.
Very nice. Eva, I'm afraid we do need to move on, though. Did you want to say hello to Jay? No, talk to me. Say hello to me. Introduce me and say I'm going to talk about my new books, Ewing Reviewing 2020.
Wait. Let me write this down because you always mess up.
All right, David.
I want to get this right. Ewing
Reviewing 2020.
2020.
Mm-hmm.
And do you want to talk about your play too?
No, I'll talk about that next time. No hurry on that.
So just want to talk about your book.
Just mention the books. Yeah, introduce me. Right.
Make sure to tell where you can get them.
Absolutely. Yes, I will.
And indie influencer, right?
Yes, for Jay. So I just need 2 introductions, and then we got and then a takeout.
Okay. Ready?
Yep, go. Nope.
Well,
you have to be on screen first. You say something.
Am I on screen?
Go.
Okay. You know, there's too much going on with the living. We're never going to be able to discuss about all those people we lost that we love. And most important, our very own Jan Ewing has his new book out called Ewing Reviewing for 2020. And he's got a lot to say about all the wonderful shows he's seen and maybe not so wonderful.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll add that tomorrow. Now you want to introduce Jay, right?
Yeah. And now for our normal.
Start again. You got to be on the screen. Get on the screen first. Okay.
I see myself on the screen, so
go.
All right. And now for our favorite feature from J. Michael's Indie Influencers.
Okay. Now thank him and take us out.
Thank you, Jan, very much. And thank you, Jay, very much. And our next show is going to be in March sometime. March 13th. Oh, March the 3rd. Oh my God, March the 13th. That will be my 1-year anniversary for the last play I saw, The Fra at the Flea by Taylor Mack. So we'll have a year anniversary of our isolation.
Thank you all for coming. It was a lovely, lovely meeting. Nice to meet you, David. Really, I'm looking forward to seeing your magazine.
Thanks so much. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Eva. Thank you, Mark. And thank you for being on. What a delightful show.
Thank you. Did you like my poem?
Of course I like that. I wanted to make a quick point that, you don't like Zoom. It doesn't work for you. But you were so clear and direct in your poem on Zoom. It works. It is a workable medium for you.
It really worked that way. Bina, now we had a talk last week. Have you been able to record any of your stuff?
Yeah, we've been practicing, and thank you so very much about that, because now Kevin is going to do him on like 28th with this play. He's going to do his reading with your instructions,
Yeah,
so
we had a meeting.
We learned a lot.
Yeah, last week to show her how to record herself on Zoom.
He helped us because we did a reading and we didn't record it. We had no idea. Yeah. It was never recorded. So Jan's helping.
Okay.
Us, yes.
Thank you, everybody. A nice show. I will have to cut some, but I'll let you know when it's ready. And thank you, David. Greatly appreciate it.
I'll send you the link.
Bye.
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 Everyone.
Bye. Bye. Bye.